Hi everybody, welcome to Teach Me Tuesday with Kelly. Today I'm going to show you how to do the miler stitch, and I'm also going to show you how to cast on off your previous one so that you don't have to sew them all together, because I'm really lazy and I don't want to do that. But first I'm going to show you, I'm halfway through this one, so I'm going to use this one to show you how to do the miler stitch, and then when I get done with this, I need to do yesterday's square, so I'll show you how to cast on, okay? So to start a square, you want to cast on an odd number. So for these squares, I cast on 23. So depending on how big you want it, you can cast on any odd amount. Okay, so then I put a stitch marker in the very middle stitch. Excuse me. So if you're doing 23, then I counted in 11, put it on the 12th, and then you should have 11 more. Okay, so every row is the same, or every other row. So you just knit, excuse me. And my tripod is really weird today, so I hope I can stay in focus for you guys today. Okay, so on each row, when the right side is facing, you knit to within one stitch of that. So you have your middle stitch and one more. And what you're going to do is you're just going to slide those stitches over, okay? Then you're going to knit your next stitch, and then you're going to slip these two right over the top, okay? And then you're going to knit to the end. And then on the reverse row, you always just knit back. This is a knit, so it's great. You don't have to do any purling. You just knit across. So then when you turn it around and you're on the back side, then you just knit straight across, and that gets you back to work your miler stitch. So we'll just do this across really quick, and I'll show you another row. It's really simple. My biggest problem is remembering to do the slip and roll over. I tend to want to crochet two together, and then I got to go back and take it out, or I just completely forget till I get to the end of the row, and then I'm like, oh, darn. So those are the hardest parts about doing it. Okay. So then you turn it over. Now you can do, if you can remember and can, just figure it out, you don't have to. But I always move the stitch marker up one so that I know I don't have to do a lot of counting as I'm going. So I just move it up one. And you can always tell if you've got the right one, because you should have the same amount of stitches on each side. So I got 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, and then 3. Because you should always have that one and then one on each side. Okay. So to show you this again. Oops, I got to switch colors, sorry. For these squares, I am doing the high temp and the low temp. So I do a row of high and then a row of low. Sorry if I made you guys sick right there. So I just leave mine on and I just go up, because as you can see, it doesn't leave any kind of mark, okay? So you're gonna just knit across. This camera is just, oh, I'm so sorry about this, guys. Hold on. It doesn't want to stay up. It doesn't want to stay where it's supposed to be. I really need, if anybody can suggest a really good tripod or a webcam or something other than what I'm doing, because it's just not working well for teaching. Okay, so gotta go one more. And now, as you can see, I got my middle stitch and the one beside it. So I'm gonna slip, and then I'm gonna knit, and then I'm gonna pull the two over. Okay, and then I'm going to go to the end. And that is all you do until you get down to your very last rows. You're going to end up with 3. You're going to slip the first 2. Then you're going to slide over, and then you're done. Okay, so that's what you have there. So I am going to pause this. I'm going to finish this square, and then I will come back to show you how to cast it on so that it works right and you don't have to sew all the squares together. All right, so I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I got that square all finished, so I'm ready to put on yesterday's square. Okay, now the way you're going to do this is the colors for the next square happen to be the same as these, but if not, then what I did do is I pulled the new color up through my last stitch, but since it's the same color, I'm just going to leave it on. Now you always want to cast on from the back side, and you always, the trick to casting on for this is whatever side you want the edge to be. Like the square, this is the working part, this is the edge. Okay, so whatever side you want this, the edge, I'm sorry, this is crazy, the edge to be is the side you're going to do the extra cast on, and I'll show you what that means in a minute. So you flip it over. Okay, so I want my edge to be here, so I want to knit across, and then I want an edge that comes down so that my square goes this way. So I'm going to cast on my first stitches. Now there's two ways to do this. In case you haven't done this before, I'm going to try and get you closer. In case you've never done this before, I'm going to go through the basic steps. What you're going to go do is you're going to go through here and you're going to pull up a loop, and you're going to put it on your hook so that you have all your hooks. You can do this two ways. One, you can use a crochet hook. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to get my hooks not roll away. You use a crochet hook, you go into the hole that you want your loop to be on. You take your working color, you wrap it around, you pull it up, and then you put it on the hook. Okay? So then you got to hold that there. You go into your next hole. You pull up a loop, and if you make the loops big enough, you can just kind of just let them hang there, and you put it on. Okay, and you can do that all the way down. Or, this is the way I do it, just, oh goodness, just because I don't like dealing with all those hooks. Okay, I go into the place I want the hole, or the next loop to be. I wrap my yarn, and I hold it back like this with my foot, or finger, and then I just pull it up. So then I go into the next hole, I wrap it, and I pull it back with my finger. And you want to do this till you have 11 or 12, depending on where your end's going to show up. So you just keep going. And it is a little tricky, but to me it's easier than using the hook. But you can use the hook too. Okay, around. And I have 2, 4, 6, 7 so far. And you want to make sure you give enough space so that you can, work with them afterwards. So that's 6. Oops. 7, 8, 9. Oops, somewhere I missed a space right there. So yeah, if you don't get at least 11, go back and kind of see. So there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then you always want your last one to be right out here at the edge so that okay. So now I have 11 of my 23. So then I'm just going to cast on the other. So that's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Okay. Now what this is going to do is this side, these cast-ons, as you do this corner thing, it's going to fold it down to be this edge. And then this is going to be all of this work, okay? Now you can, if you're going to use, oops, I got to find my stitch marker, which I've probably lost because it's black and my table's, I found it. Okay, good. Okay, so you're going to mark your 12th stitch. So I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Here's number 12. So I'm going to put my stitch marker in it. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to start my stitch. And so I'm going to knit 11 or 10, I'm sorry, because I want to leave one extra. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This first row is always tough. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so now I have my middle and an extra hook or an extra stitch. So I'm going to slide those off. I'm going to knit the next one. And I'm going to slide, oops, sorry guys. I'm going to slide these two. And this first row of casting on is always tough to work with because there's just, I don't know, it just is. So getting under those two is a little tough sometimes. And if you have to do them one at a time, just do them one at a time. It doesn't matter. Okay, so I got the 2. And I slip them. And I got a little straggler there. Okay. And another straggler. Okay, there. And now, I always, whenever I cast on, the stitch always seems backwards. So I always take it off and turn it around. And then knit it when I cast on. Because you can always just tell it's twisted the wrong way. And I like it to be twisted that way. So I always twist them. And I only do it for my cat when I cast on to another object. Okay. Then you go to the end. Oops. Okay. So there you've done your first cast on for your next square and you're attached. Now you just work it like normal. So we're going to crochet all the way back. Sorry about the silence, but I figure my voice is froggy enough that the silence might be much better for you. I know. Excuse me. You can get rid of the illness, but then the other just lags. Get that off of there. And usually when I lose my voice, it takes forever to come back. Usually it takes long enough that I forget what my real voice sounds like. So it's kind of crazy. And we're almost there. I hope you guys are thinking about what you want to do and are going to join me on my temperature blanket crochet along, because I just really want to see what everybody does and have fun with it and everything. So, okay, so there you go. So now you move it up. And if you can't tell where your next one is, just count in 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So right there. So yeah, you just always, you can always count it. Okay, now I'm going to switch colors for my next row. So and a good thing, if you're doing two colors, a good way to remember so you don't mess up and do two rows of the same color is every time you do the slip and then pull over, the slip should be a different color than you're using. And I'll show you what I mean when I get down there. Okay. All right, one more. Okay, so now I've got my middle and my extra one. I'm going to slip these two off. I'm going to knit the next one. So I've got two colors here. And I'm going to slip this over. If these colors all match and you're doing two colors, then you've repeated the same color a second time. And it's just an easy way. It's like a little flag for me to go, oh, I messed up again. Then you just go to the end and then continue on till you run out of stitches. So I don't know if this helps you guys, but I personally do not want to sew on 300 and some stitch squares. The blanket that I saw and copied this from, they did that, and God bless them. It looks amazing, and I'm hoping that this will look okay as I go. But we'll see. So, okay. So the other thing I wanted to show you while I was on here is my crochet version. So I am doing the high colors here. So yesterday and today was the same. So I'm going to continue with the yellow, which if I weren't doing two, the yellow would still be attached because I would leave it attached just in case it repeated. But I needed the yellow for the other. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an easy or a magic knot real quick to attach this. So I will be right back. Okay, so I'm back. So what I'm doing on this one is every section is a day. So then every round will be a week. Sorry, I can't get this to get in there. Okay. So I do like a granny corner here. So I do 2, chain 2, and 2 in each corner. So I do 2 of the previous day and I chain 1. Then when I've added my second color, I do a second chain and then I do the other 2 in the corner. And then I do 1, and I'm doing double crochets. And I do a double crochet. I'm so frustrated, guys. I am so sorry. This is so crappy. Okay. I'm trying to get there. Maybe you can see better there. And then I just do 2 in the corner for today. And 1 chain. Okay. And then I'll leave that there. And then tomorrow will be the end of the week and the last day. And then I'll attach and I'll do the second week. So far it's not really exciting, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, and I did put a stitch marker here to show the beginning of each week. I don't know why, I just did, just in case I needed to know. And then I will use a hidden join so that you can't see where the joins are. So I hope, besides my technical difficulties, that this was somewhat educational for you. By the way, I want to tell you, this is my favorite hook. It's my first one from Lether, and I absolutely love it. I can't wait to get more. So I will keep getting the Lether box until I have the whole set, whether I want the yarn or not. These hooks this is the most comfortable hook I have. And it's an H, which I'm a G hook person, but I may move to an H hook because it's fantastic. The most comfortable thing I have. So just an FYI on that. I know you didn't. That's not part of it, but hey, I wanted to throw that in there. So Okay, well, I hope this helped. And that cast on join works for hooking onto anything. I just happen to be doing Mylar squares, so um, I hope this helped. And tomorrow I'm going to do my unboxing of my Premier Yarn and my Crystal from Bag O' Days mystery box. I'm so excited for that. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow, and I hope you have a blessed day.